Coming up next, high school volleyball on your sports leader in Lorain, WLCS TV 20.
Varsity volleyball on WLCS TV 20. Rob Polinsky, Joe Bach. Lorain versus Brookside. Lorain will begin with the serve. Chloe Karpinski serves for Lorain there in white. Brookside in red, and Brookside with the first kill. That is junior Bailey Kerstetter, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead here as we are underway from Lorain High School. Glad to have you with us on WLCS TV 20. Chantil Jackson, second-year head coach of Lorain. They come in at 8-8. Jen Larrick, the fourth-year head coach of the Brookside Cardinals. Her team comes in with a record of 6-8 in this non-conference battle. Middle of the front row, dug out nicely by Karpinski on that kill. Van Horn hits it off the top of the net, and that'll be a point for the Cardinals. They lead 2-0. Good to see Van Horn back in action, Joe. Last time you and I were here, she was out with an illness. Right. Good to see her back with the team. Kerstetter serving for Brookside. There's a set by Washington. Sent over in a beautiful play, finding the dead spot in the defense. Talia Harris, first point for Lorain. They cut the lead to 2-1, and Harris will get to serve. Talia Harris did a great job of finding that hole in the defense. Harris with a good deep serve. It's played ahead by Ava Miller. There's the kill attempt by Lauren Sheehan, a junior. And left side of the front row, hitting it over Jalissa Williams. Can't be played by Miller, and we're tied at 2. So we're just underway, game 1. Of course, you know by now that varsity volleyball, you play 3 games out of 5. Games go to 25. Rally scoring on every serve. And you must win by at least 2. Harris with another good serve. Kerstetter digs it out. There's the set, and sending it over, dug out, and sent back over by the Titans. They take their first lead of the match as Sydney Patterson, one of 3 seniors on this team, gets the kill, and the Titans lead 3-2. So it's Talia Harris serving. Another nice serve. It's misplayed by Ava Miller, the sophomore for Brookside. 4-2. Sent over. This time it is played better. There's the set by Musel, and that spike goes off Karpinski, and Brookside gets the point off the set by Leah Musel. And it makes it 4-3. Lorain with a 1-point lead early on. Game number 1 of this non-conference varsity volleyball match from Lorain. Again, the Titans, white jerseys, blue shorts. Brookside, they've got the red jerseys, black shorts. There's a nice line drive serve, but it is just wide and out of bounds from Ava Miller. That point will go to Lorain. They lead 5-3.
Yeah, if it's anything like the underclass games, the freshmen went 3 games, very close, and the JVs went 2. The first game, they lost 25-23 and lost the second as well. So could be in for some good volleyball here tonight.
A missed serve from Sydney Patterson, and that makes it 5-4. Lorain with a 1-point lead. Cardinals serving. Middle of the front row, Jalissa Williams. Beautiful placement of that, Joe. Perfect. In the corner, deep, and it's 6-4 Lorain.
Very nice.
Joe, I know all our viewers on WLCS TV 20, whether it's on YouTube or on Spectrum Cable, they want to know who's Joe Bach rooting for tonight. I mean, we all know the Brookside's your hometown, Joe.
Definitely the Lorain Lady Titans.
All right, I just wanted to have that documented, so we've got that. Miranda Rothman with the kill is good. Titans lead 6-5. Serving is Lauren Sheehan. Passed ahead, sent back over by the Titans, Ariana Washington. There's a set for Kerstetter. Her kill is dug out in the back row by Talia Harris. Emily Van Horn comes up, sends it over to the Cardinal side. And the Cardinals send it over. Taya Neal into the game for the first time. Long rally here, longest of the match. And sent over by Miranda Rothman. She's a junior. Left side of the front row, Washington dug out. This point still going on. Kerstetter lines up and has it dug out from the back row by the Titans. Talia Harris on the third hit sends it over. Set for Kerstetter. Her spike from left side of the front row. Harris easily gets to it. Battle at the net, and that's going to go to Brookside on that long point. We're tied at 6. So even though it's early on, Joe, it would appear that these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Lauren Sheehan will serve, the junior, this non-conference game. Again, Brookside 6-8, Lorain 8-8. Brookside from the Patriot Athletic Conference and Lorain in the Lake Erie League. That hit by Van Horn was out wide. Brookside with the point, they lead 7-6. Harris. Now left side of the front row, unable to get that kill attempt was Janae Harrison, the sophomore, into the game for the first time. Janae wasn't able to put that over, the 5'10 sophomore. Left side of the front row. Lauren Sheehan. They list her at 5'10 and a half on the Brookside roster. And there again is a kill that time. Harrison's able to wind up and get it. Unable to play that was Ava Miller. And it's 8-7. Brookside with a 1-point lead. Going back to serve for the Titans is sophomore setter Ariana Washington. Washington sends it over. Kerstetter winds up. Van Horn digs it out from the back row. Set middle of the front row. Unable to get it over is Aaliyah Thomas. And that point goes to Brookside. They extend the lead to 9-7. Van Horn to Thomas. Sent over, dug out by Kerstetter. Now the set, and nobody home. Finally sending it over was Musil. And into the net. It'll be a point for Brookside. It's 10-7. Cardinals with their biggest lead of game 1 at 3 points. Nice line drive serve that's played. Washington set, sent over. Cardinals have it. On offense, Kerstetter winds up. That spike is good. And Brookside leads 11-7. We've had 2 ties at 2 and at 6. Cardinals lead 11-7, and there's a service error as Miranda Rothman serves it into the net, gives the point to the Titans. It's 11-8 Brookside. The last Lorain lead was 6-5. They trail 11-8. Emily Van Horn sends it over to the Cardinals. And Taya Neal plays it. There's a set as Lorain has their offense going. Janae Harrison will get the point. Janae Harrison with a kill, and the Titans are within 2 at 11-9. Neither team able to get much separation here in game 1. Lorain's biggest lead has been 2 at 5-3 and 6-4. Biggest lead for Brookside was 4 points at 11-7. Van Horn serves. Nice line drive serve. That Neal will send over on the third hit. Dug out by Harrison. From the back row, unable to hit that over. A miss hit by Julissa Williams. You could see her frustration. Brookside leads 12-9. No substitute and a new server. Coming in to serve is Tori Aliff, the senior. Started. Now she'll go back to serve. Emily Van Horn, back row, passes it ahead. Set over to the Brookside Cardinals. Sheehan to the back row for Lorain. Sent back over to the Cardinals. They'll play it. They set up Kerstetter. And on the third hit, she has to get it over off the top of the net. Another battle at the net. Kerstetter digs it out. Middle of the front row. Boy, a beautiful spike that time. Jenna Rothman, just a freshman, Joe.
Wow.
That freshman cranked it up at 5'10", put it straight down, and it's 13-9 at Brookside. So the Cardinals up 13-9. Set. Sent back over to the Cardinals. They'll set up Kerstetter. She has it blocked at the net. Beautifully done. Harrison and Patterson for Lorain blocking that spike attempt. Kerstetter hits it into the net. Point Lorain. Well done, Lady Titans. That was a great job, Joe, as Sydney Patterson and Janae Harrison double teamed to go up for that block of the kill by Kerstetter.
That was.
And they got it right back.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, big point, too. Instead of being down by 5, now they only trail by 3. So let's see if we could serve a few points here and tie this game up.
And to try to do that is Karpinski. She sends it to the Cardinals. There's a set for Kerstetter. Her kill is going to be blocked, and the point will go to Brookside. 14-10, Cardinals. Bailey Kerstetter, 5'9" junior. Line drive, Van Horn. Plays it to Karpinski off the top of the net. Point to the Cards, and they have their biggest lead in game 1 at 15-10. Hard to believe that in late September you're already getting into the late stages of the volleyball season, Joe. It's a quick season.
Yeah, we are.
The regular season goes to about the middle of October, and before you know it, you're about third weekend of October, and the season's over with tournaments and everything.
Now look at football. Football is halfway over already.
Yes, it is. 15-11. Cardinal lead is 4. Battle at the net. That's going to go to the Lorain Titans, and Jalissa Williams, the sophomore, makes it 15-12.
Yeah, they needed that point.
Serving, Talia Harris. She's a junior. Harris sends it, and that's going to be a miss hit played by Lauren Sheehan. And the Titans, with 3 in a row, Joe, are within 2 at 15-13. Let's see if Talia Harris can make this a 1-point game. We're in game 1, just underway. Sheehan, there's the set for Musil, dug out by Van Horn. And from the middle of the front row, sent over by Talia Harris. Sheehan will send it back to the Titans. There's a set. Julissa Williams goes up, and that is going to be a point for the Titans. Julissa Williams off the block of the Cardinals, 15-14, and the Brookside wants a timeout.
All right.
So timeout for the Lady Cardinals, up 15-14. Lorain on a 4-0 run here in game 1. Well, we can let you know that Lorain City Schools Television, WLCS TV 20 on Spectrum Cable. Joe Bach tells me that on Spectrum Cable now they've moved the educational channels, and it is 1025, 1025 if you're watching on Spectrum Cable. Of course, you can always watch the YouTube Lorain Schools at YouTube Lorain Schools TV 20. You can always check it out there. Follow us on Twitter at LCS_TV 20, and you can like Lorain Schools TV 20 on Facebook and win some great prizes.
Yeah, on YouTube it's quite easy now because we're approaching 1.1 million views. So if you go to YouTube, you put in a search bar, you just put TV 20, and we're the #1 result. So, yeah, pretty impressive for...
You're #1, Joe.
You're #1.
I've been telling you for years you're #1, Joe.
You've been showing me.
Titans trailing 15-14. Harris to try to tie it. There's a set for the Cardinals. Sheehan puts it over, dug out by Karpinski. A set by Washington, sent back over by Sydney Patterson. Now on offense go the Cardinals, and a nice job there by Lorain for sending that over. And from the back row, Ava Miller plays it. Sheehan dinks it over, dug out easily. Williams with a set. Julissa Williams sends it back over. And the Cardinals, you have one of the young ladies into the net.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a point for Lorain, and we are tied at 15. 5 straight points for the Titans after they were trailing 15-10.
Our 3rd tie of the game.
Titans trying to take the lead. Van Horn will send it over. Dug out by Ava Miller. Miss hit on a missed jump by Jenna Rothman. And that point goes to Lorain, and the Titans have come all the way back to take a 16-15 lead. Coach Jen Larrick is up off the bench coaching. Of course, her husband Brett Larrick, the Elyria boys basketball head coach. I know Joe Bach knew that, but I was just informing our viewers of that.
Yes.
Left side of the front row, Lauren Sheehan with the kill. We're tied at 16. So coaching in that family.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And back to serve is Ava Miller. Miller sends it. And sent over by Washington. Played by Karpinski to Washington, right back to the Cardinal side. And there's a block to net, beautifully done, Sydney Patterson. And this time the Cardinals sent it over, and it's just in, 17-16 Brookside. Joe, I haven't known many couples that are coaches, but there are some. And, of course, former Lorain men's or football coach Mark Solis, his wife, very successful girls basketball coach. But of all the couples that I've ever known that do that, the one thing I've noticed is they don't coach in the same
school
time. Well, but they don't coach in the same time. In other words, Jen's the head volleyball coach in the fall. Her husband's the head basketball coach in the winter. And when the Solis is, he was a football coach in the fall. His wife was a basketball coach in the winter.
Yes.
And like I said, I've known a few couples that do it, and I don't know if I've ever known any that do it at the same time, because that would be impossible with kids to be able to do that just about. Cardinals with a couple of points, lead at 19-16.
And she won some state championship.
Yes, Julie Solis. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Mark loved it when I told him he wasn't the best coach in his house.
I'm sure he did.
Ava Miller with the spike, and it's sent over and out of bounds by Ariana Washington. And we've got a timeout as Brookside has responded, Joe. It was a 6-0 run for Lorain to take a 15 deficit into a 16-15 lead, and now a 5-0 run for Brookside has given them a 20-16 lead. As Joe takes a look at the Lorain bench, you get a look at it there. So you get a look at the Titan bench with Coach Chantil Jackson, Coach Bancic, and the other assistant coaches over there. Jen Larrick, head coach of Brookside. She's assisted by Mary Williams.
Good crowd tonight.
It is a good crowd.
Of course, we got the Lorain crowd, plus, Brookside just right around the corner. So they brought a nice contingent.
Do you recognize our referee there, Joe, that's the man in the stands there? It was Dale Cutting.
Oh.
Clearview assistant boys basketball coach. Dale Cutting, a longtime referee, in charge of this one tonight. You told me to be nice. So, Dale, I am being nice to you. There's a set for the Cardinals, middle of the front row. The spike is going to be dug out by Van Horn. Nice job by her. And sending it over is Washington. And that's going to be a point for the Lorain Titans. Nice job, Ariana Washington. Cardinals lead 20-17, late stages game one of this varsity volleyball match from Lorain. Serving is Sydney Patterson. Good line drive serve. There's the set by Musil, and the spike is going to be good. Point for the Cardinals. They lead 21-17. A little bit of a discussion at the scorer's table. Line drive serve. Middle of the front row, Julissa Williams sends it over for the Titans. And it's played by Sheehan of Brookside. And into the net. Point will go to the Cards. They lead 22-17. So Brookside 3 points away from taking a 1-0 lead here in this match. And serving is Leah Musil. Emily Van Horn. They'll play it ahead, middle of the front row. Dug out nicely by Musil. Keep it alive to Sheehan from the left side of the front row. Titans with the block. Now Williams cranks it up, has it from the back row, Kerstetter. The set to Sheehan, she dinks it over. Nice diving job by Julissa Williams to keep that alive, and it's sent back to the Cardinal side. This is a good rally for both teams. Sheehan cross court just in front of a diving Talia Harris. That was a good point. 23-17 Cards. Musil, just a freshman. So she'll be setting for Jen Larrick for the next 3 years. As you see that one, there she is, the freshman with the set, right side of the front row. We're at game point as Taya Neal, a junior, puts that in. As I look at this Brookside roster, I see just one senior, and that's Tori Aliff.
Wow.
So both of these teams are young. Lorain has 3, Brookside with 1, and the Cardinals only dressing 9 young ladies. I'm sorry, 10. Game point, 24-17 Brookside. Williams battling at the net. They hit it too far. The Cardinals put it down. That's Miranda Rothman with the kill. And Brookside takes game 1 by a score of 25-17. We'll take a timeout. Both teams will exchange sides, and we'll begin game 2 when we come back. Our score in game 1, it was Brookside 25, Lorain 17. You're watching girls varsity volleyball on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television.
Hi, my name is Rafael Bruno. I am 17 years old and I just finished the 12th grade at Lorain High School. I was in the Lorain Automotive Career Tech Education Program. I just wanted to get my hands dirty, and I got to do that a lot in automotive. I just fell in love with the program, and I learned so much from working on cars. It made me feel good that I could do this for people. Also, I took welding and learned how to weld mufflers together. I learned that you need to adapt because you need to know what you are doing at all times. My instructor, Scott Krishenko, taught me that. He looks mean at first, but you find out really fast that he's nice. I want to thank him for all the opportunities that he gave me. Krishenko took time to connect me to the Tri-Seek advisor who helped me get to the program. It was a good experience. I know what I'm doing with my future, and I'm doing it thanks to Lorain High's Automotive and Career Tech program.
Game 2, Cardinals take a 1-0 lead as they won game 1 by a score 25-17. And starting game 2, that is wide and no good, out of bounds, I should say, off Janae Harrison. Very, very close, but Brookside takes the 1-0 lead. Serving is Taya Neal. There's a set for Harrison. Her kill is going to be dug out. There's a set for Rothman, and her block, it goes off of a Titan. It was tipped at the net, so the Cardinals take a 2-0 lead. Landed out of bounds, but of course when you spike it and it goes off of a defender, even if it lands out of bounds, it's still a point for the attacking team. Left side of the front row, sending it over Sydney Patterson. It goes off the top of the net. Brookside out to the early 3-0 lead in game 2, having won game 1 25-17. We had 3 ties in game 1 at 2-6, and the last one was at 15. But the Brookside Cardinals with a 10-2 run to end game 1. Emily Van Horn hits it out of bounds, 4-0 Brookside. Been a fan of high school volleyball for a long, long time, back even when I was in high school, just watching my classmates play. The point being, one of the things I really, really like about it, or I've always noticed about it, is that those runs that I was talking about,
right.
The momentum that you see, the shifts of momentum in this game, I think are unlike just about any sport, Joe. We saw it in the first game where Brookside has a 15-10 lead. Then the next thing you know, Lorain scores 6 straight points, goes up 16-15. Then the next thing you know, Brookside comes back and they win at 25-17. There's so many momentum changes in the game of volleyball. That's what I like about it. From the middle of the front row, with a kill there for the Titans is Sydney Patterson, and it makes it 4-2, as now the Titans have scored consecutive points as they try to get back into it here. Early going of game 2.
It's interesting. I think some of those runs were broken and started with timeouts, so very strategic use of timeouts in game 1.
Yeah, you only get 2 per team each game, so you got to pick and choose. At the net, the freshman unable to set that one, Aaliyah Musil, as that pass was a little too high for her, and it's 4-3. The Titans with 3 straight points after Brookside had a 4-0 lead. And now Chloe Karpinski, freshman setter, goes back. Nice line drive serve. Kerstetter plays it. The set for Kerstetter, left side of the front row, dug out. Right back to Kerstetter, dug out by the Titans. There's a set from Washington, and it's played at the net, and we're going to have a violation against the Titans. Yep, thank you, Joe. 5-3 Brookside. Dale Cutting, our referee, with that call. Kerstetter line drive serve played by Van Horn, who had to dive for it. Left side of the middle of the front row, Patterson put it down, and it's dug out by the Cardinals. They send it back over by Jenna Rothman. Now sending it over, and the point will come from Julissa Williams. She surveyed that defense, Joe, and put it to the back corner and gives her Titans the point. They trail 5-4. Ava Miller set for Sheehan, and there's a nice kill for the Brookside Cardinal. Lauren Sheehan, a junior, outside hitter, 5'10½".
That ball was just dead, and it hit her hands, and it went right to the ground.
Exactly. 6-4 Brookside. And it'll be Ava Miller, the sophomore, to send it over. Dug out by Williams. Washington sets. Patterson with a kill. Dug out again by the Cardinals. Kerstetter from the back row comes up to play it. Set by Washington, middle of the front row. Patterson had it blocked, but it goes out of bounds off Ava Miller. Point, Lorain. They trail 6-5. Kind of like the first game, Joe, where it was very, very close at the beginning. Back and forth, back and forth. Didn't get much separation until after that last tie at 16. And Sheehan can't play it off the pass, so we're tied at 6. So the Titans have come all the way back after giving up the first 4 points. We were tied at 6 in game 2. Cardinals lead 1-0. You play the best 3 out of 5, and that serve goes long and out of bounds. It'll give Brookside a 7-6 lead off the missed serve. And serving is freshman Leah Musil. Musil sends it over to Emily Van Horn. Washington to Julissa Williams. And in front of a diving Ava Miller, the point for the Titans. And we're tied at 7. Going back to serve is the sophomore, Ariana Washington. Ava Miller ahead at the net. Double hit is going to go against the Titans, and that's going against Aaliyah Thomas. Point for Brookside. They lead 8-7. Van Horn from the back row gets ahead to Williams. The set for Williams, or Washington to Williams, I should say. Her spike is good, and we are tied at 8.
Tied at 6, tied at 7, now tied at 8.
Yes.
The Lady Titans can grab their first lead.
Yes, Titans have not had a lead, although as Joe just told you, with 3 ties, no lead changes in game 2. Titans going to try to do that right here. From the back row, Miller plays it ahead, the set, and then spike is going to be blocked right at the net. Great job by the young ladies. It was Harris and Thomas there for the kill, the block, I should say. Lorain leads 9-8.
That sounded good, too.
It sure did. So the Titans lead for the first time in game 2, 9-8. That serve just gets over, and a misplayed right side of the front row, Taya Neal, and Lorain leads 10-8. The Titans came in with a record of 8-8. Brookside 6-8 in the 2018 season. Middle of the front row. Cardinals set up Kerstetter. It's blocked right back at her. Sent back over, and it's going to be a point for Brookside. Is from the middle of the front row, sending that over. A nice job, Miranda Rothman. You can tell that the Titans are doing a better job, Joe, of late with their blocks. They're going up, and when the Brookside Cardinals try to get into their offense and send their kills over. To me, it looks like over the last few plays of this game, few points, Titans doing a better job.
Yes, definitely.
Van Horn, they get it ahead, and it's going to fall right between a couple of defenders. We're tied at 10. You see the frustration there from head coach Untitled Jackson.
Communication error there.
Cross-court hit, dug out by Talia Harris. Sydney Patterson sends it back over to the Cardinal side. Here's a set for Kerstetter. Kerstetter winds up. Emily Van Horn will play it ahead to Washington. Washington gets it ahead to Aaliyah Thomas, who puts it over to the Cardinal side. Long rally here. Washington beautifully done, but dug out in the back row. Nicely done by Rothman. Kerstetter is going to, nice job by the Titans keeping that alive. Kerstetter sends it over. Van Horn, back row. Set. Spike attempt. Cardinals, what a job by Washington going back to save. Julissa Williams trying to save it, but it's a point for the Cardinals, and that was a great rally.
Sure was.
And Brookside leads 11-10. Line drive serve is an ace. One of the few aces we've had, and it's Miranda Rothman, the junior, with that. And Brookside leads 12-10. Cardinals won the first game 25-17. Miranda Rothman to serve. Van Horn from the back row. Sent over by Aaliyah Thomas. Kerstetter winds up, cranks up, gets the point off the block of the Titans. It falls on the Titan side of the court. Brookside leads 13-10. Line drive serve, another ace. Miranda Rothman finding her groove serving, and the Titans are going to take a timeout, Joe.
Yeah, let's take one as well.
Game 2, it's 14-10 Brookside. We'll be back after this. You're watching Girls Varsity Volleyball on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
Following the Titan timeout, Brookside goes back to serve as they try to break the momentum. The Cardinals lead 14-10. Van Horn will play it to the Cardinal side. Bailey Kerstetter sends it over, and the Titans on the fourth hit, because you get 4 when you get a block, send it back over to the Cardinals, and that one is going to be a point for Brookside as Jenna Rothman puts it down. Cardinals lead 15-10. Cardinals on a 7-0 run after trailing 10-8. Van Horn dives to get it, and the kill attempt, Taya Neal puts it down. Brookside 16-10.
Yeah, it all starts with the serve, and she's been a consistent server here tonight.
Yep, 8-0 run for the Cardinals. And the momentum has shifted back to their side. Van Horn digs it out for the Titans. They set up, and the kill attempt is going to be long, just out from Talia Harris. 17-10 Cardinals. Brookside from the Patriot Athletic Conference. The PAC The Lorain Titans, of course, are members of the Lake Erie League. So this is a non-conference girls varsity volleyball match. Good line drive serve, Van Horn. These neighboring communities getting together to play. Joe mentioned a nice crowd here supporting the young ladies tonight. 18-10 Cardinals. Miranda Rothman, the junior. Van Horn gets it ahead. Sent over on the third hit by Talia Harris. The set, the spike attempt by Rothman, dug out by Van Horn from the back row. Set by Washington, and into the net, hitting it was Talia Harris. 19-10 Cards, 11-0 run for Brookside.
Wow.
And it's coming from the serves of Miranda Rothman, who sends it back, dug out by Julissa Williams. Played at the net, and then it ends the run. A nice job by Aaliyah Thomas, the junior. Outside hitter gives the point to the Titans. They trail 19-11. And now Emily Van Horn and the Titans need to get 4 or 5 points here in a row to get back into this game.
Right.
Game 2, they trail 1-0, and they trail 19-11 in game 2. Set by Musil. Played at the net, right back to the Cardinal side. Sent over by Sheehan. Washington with the set. Sheehan digs it out. Set for Kerstetter. Her kill is dug out by Van Horn in the back row. Passed ahead. Ava Miller for Brookside. Right side of the front row, Neal, and we've got a call in the net play. This one's going to go to Brookside. 20-11 Cardinals. They're 5 points away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead. Coming in for Lorain for the first time, sophomore Jersey Fisk is going to come to the middle of the front row. I think it's her first time tonight. And a miss hit off the serve from Janae Harrison gives the Cardinals the point, and the Cards lead 21-11. Van Horn to Washington, sent over by Julissa Williams. Bailey Kerstetter left side of the front row, just off the top of the net, falls on the Lorain side. 22-11. The Cardinals have doubled up Lorain here. And since they trailed 10-8, they have outscored Lorain 14-1.
Yeah, they've had everything going right.
That line drive serve is just out of bounds. And that missed serve will give the point to the Titans, and they cut the lead at 22-12. And going back to serve is freshman Chloe Karpinski. Karpinski winds up. Sheehan dives to get it. Right side of the front row. It's going to be hit just wide by Jenna Rothman. Point for the Titans. It's 22-13 Cardinals. Karpinski trying to get her team back into game 2. They trail by 9. Karpinski will hit it into the net on the serve.
Yeah, those are killers.
Point to the Cardinals. They lead 23-13, and they are 2 points away from a 2-0 lead. And Bailey Kerstetter, the junior, will go back to serve. Line drive serve. Van Horn plays it ahead. Now Van Horn will send it over. Kerstetter back row. The set. Rothman middle of the front row, and that kill is good off of a Titan defender. We're at game point at 24-13. So Kerstetter will try to give her team a 2-0 lead. Line drive serve. Van Horn sends it over to keep it alive. The set from Musil, dug out by Fisk. They set up. Jersey Fisk has a block back the net by Jenna Rothman, and game 2 goes to the Brookside Cardinals by a score of 25-13. So the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with game 3, girls varsity volleyball. Game 3 coming up next on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program. a unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
Hi, my name is Mayra Codman. I'm 16 years old and in 11th grade at Lorain High School. I'm studying math and science through the College Credit Plus program. Taking classes through Titan College has really given me an advantage. I'm learning how to be a college student in my Titan College classes. I'm pretty much getting my associate's degree by the time I'm finished high school, and I'm excited because it's going to be free. I can get to where I want to go faster. As for Titan College's CCP classes, you've just got to be aware of the workload. You have to know that you will have more work. You can't slack, and there are more requirements and more thought processes involved. You gotta study. You do get used to it after a while, and it does get easier. Procrastination is a killer, so don't do it. I'm working on completing my associate's degree before I finish high school, and it's all thanks to Lorain High and Titan College.
Game 3 is Amaya Robinson will start to serve for Lorain. They find themselves down 2-0, and there's a nice spike attempt. It is dug out beautifully by the Titans. Boy, I thought that was going to be a point for Brookside for sure, but Titans defense shoring up over there as Amaya Robinson kept that alive. Sheehan, there's a set by Musil for Bailey Kerstetter, dug out in the back row. That time it was Julissa Williams. Good defense by the Titans here on the first point of Game 3. Musil sends it back to Van Horn. Washington will play it middle of the front row. Patterson gets the point. And that's a well-earned point for the Titans, Joe.
And there's been a lot of those tonight, and we've been on the,
yes,
the losing
short
end of them.
Yep.
So I'm glad we were able to get that one. It's a good way to start off Game 3.
Amaya Robinson, the senior, sends it off Kerstetter, and that'll be a point for the Titans. They lead 2-0. So Lorain trying to get off to a quick start. In Game 1, Brookside had a 2-0 lead before the Lorain Titans scored. In Game 2, Brookside had a 4-0 lead before Lorain scored. So the team that has scored the first point has won each of the first 2 games. We'll see if that continues here. Spike attempt, that's going to be just out by Jenna Rothman, and Coach Larrick says they said it was tipped. It was tipped, says Dale Cutting. And, of course, the back judge didn't see that. He just says in or out. He said it was out, but then Dale Cutting, the referee, the man in the chair, says that was tipped.
By number 8, he said.
Point will go to Brookside. It's 2-1. Can't get anything past Dale Cutting, Joe. Bailey Kerstetter to serve for the Cardinals. Robinson over to Williams. Van Horn, can she get it over? She does. Set by Musil, left side of the front row. Sheehan dinks it over, beautifully done, tied at 2. She hit it right where the defense wasn't. And we are tied at 2 in Game 3. Brookside has won the first 2 games, 25-17, 25-13. And Kerstetter, line drive serve off the top of the net, turns into an ace. 3-2.
It's pretty much
Brookside.
unreturnable.
Yep, she's had a couple of those, Joe, off the top of the net and fallen onto the Lorain side. Kerstetter, good line drive serve. Robinson plays it. Van Horn into the net. Point Brookside. They lead 4-2. Bailey Kerstetter, 5'9" outside hitter. She's a junior. She's doing the serving. And she'll serve it into the net. Point for Lorain. They trail 4-3.
Yeah, something we're seeing early in Game 3. I wonder if it's fatigue. The first 2 games, we didn't see a whole lot of service errors. So I've seen a bunch of them here already in Game 3.
Serving is Talia Harris for the Titans. Sheehan for Brookside sends it right back to the Titans side. Washington off the top of the net. Point for the Cardinals. They lead 5-3. So Brookside had 2-0. That means if the Titans are going to come back to win, they've got to win in 5. They've got to win 3 straight games. Brookside needs to win 1 of the next 3 games to win this match. So the Titans have dug themselves a hole. Let's see if they can get out of it. Sheehan will get it over, and beautifully done. Sydney Patterson gets the point for the Titans. they trail 5-4.
That was. Just took a swipe at it, and it just happened to land in the right spot.
Yep. Sydney Patterson to serve, one of 3 seniors for Chantil Jackson. Nice deep serve and miscommunication between Miller and Kerstetter. It fell between them, and we're tied at 5. Each young lady thought the other one was going to play that. And when neither did, it fell to the court, and it turned into an ace. Cardinals play it. Williams goes for the save. It goes into the scores table with Julissa Williams with a fantastic effort, but it'll be a point for Brookside.
Almost ran over Jaden there. Jaden Morales, Club TV 20, taking pictures for tonight's event.
Jaden always does a good job for you, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a senior this year.
Is he?
He is.
He's been with you a long time.
He has, yeah. Gonna miss him.
Left side of the front row. Sheehan sends it over to the Titans, and the left side of the front row with the kill for Lorain is Julissa Williams. We're tied at 6. I'll tell you what, so far it's been in a losing cause, but Julissa Williams has played well at times tonight.
She sure has.
She kind of has a little bit of spunk, you know what I'm saying, Joe? You just like how she plays, the effort she gives, diving after everything, won't concede anything.
Right.
Kind of like you. Left side of the front row, there's going to be a kill. Taya Neal with the point. Cardinals lead 7-6.
Well, thanks, Rob.
Sure. Lauren Sheehan, you make me do this on back-to-back nights, you get a little goofy.
No, that's all right.
Emily Van Horn from the back row. And left side of the front row, sent over. Well done by Janae Harrison. And that's going to be a point for the Cardinals, as coming up with that kill was Miranda Rothman, and it's 8-6 Cards.
Hey, in a few short days, you get to work with
yes.
Bob Schlembaker.
Yes. We'll have more junior high volleyball.
Circled on your calendar?
I do. Junior high volleyball for you a couple of times next week, so looking forward to seeing that. Had our first taste of that the other night. Hopefully the viewers like that. That's sent wide by Van Horn. Point for the Cardinals. They lead 9-6. You were telling me that the middle school sports, very popular thing for the viewers of WLCS TV 20.
That's right. And that and some of the elementary stuff as well.
And the left side of the front row, that will kill is going to be too long, out of bounds by Janae Harrison. 10-6 Cardinals.
We had an elementary basketball game that had over 100,000 views, and it was a game where Brian Corey's son was playing, and we'll continue that in a second.
There's an spire, I should say, a serve. That one's going to be sent Van Horn too long. 11-6 Brookside. Yeah,
and I told him that, and his response to me was, well, that's no surprise to me. My son must have watched it 1,000 times.
So not 100,000 different viewers. I get that. Van Horn from the back row will play it, and it's sent over on the third hit by Talia Harris for Lorain. Neal cranks up for Brookside, and that's going to be a point for the Cardinals, and they lead 12-6. They've doubled up the Titans here. We've had 2 ties in this game at 2 and at 5. Lorain took a 2-0 lead, but since then, Brookside has outscored them 12-4. Sheehan just gets it over the net. Washington will send it back over. Rothman puts it into the net. Point for the Titans. They trail 12-7. So now let's see if the Titans can get back into this game.
Yeah, we need a little run here.
Julissa Williams, a sophomore, to go back to serve. The young lady that we complimented just a little while ago. Julissa will send it over to Ava Miller. Plays it. Kerstetter can't get it over the net on a poor set that time. And it's a point for the Titans. They trail 12-8. And sending it over, instead of setting it, Leah Musil dinked it over, and the freshman did a good job, Joe. She caught the Titans napping, and it's 13-8. She did fool them. Miranda Rothman, the serve. Nice serve that is played by the Titans. And it's going to be Janae Harrison playing it back to the Cardinals side. Sent back over to the Titans. Harrison to Washington. And heading that over was Talia Harris to the Cardinals side. Bailey Kerstetter will crank up and put it down. It's good. It lands on the back row. And Brookside leads 14-8. And we're going to get a timeout for the Lorain Titans, Joe, as they take their first timeout of game number 3. That'll give us a minute to remind you one more time that you're watching Lorain City Schools WLCS TV 20 Spectrum Cable. You can also check it out, as Joe was just talking about YouTube and all those hits they get. The YouTube station is Lorain Schools TV 20. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter. That is at LCS_TV20 to keep up with everything going on in the Lorain City Schools. Check out Lorain Schools TV 20 on Facebook for all your entertainment informational needs. And if you like Lorain Schools TV 20, and I know they got a whole bunch of likes, like them on Facebook. You can win great prizes. And just a reminder that if you are watching on Spectrum Cable, Joe says that
if you're watching on YouTube, a lot of people have told me they can't find us on Spectrum, but we're on channel 1025 if you're watching this on YouTube and you miss us on cable. So 1025.
1025 is the cable station.
Yeah, we had nothing to do
and
with
Bob
that.
Schlumbaker is the one who did that, right?
No, that was
that wasn't Bob's
decision.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought when you say corporate decision, that basically means Bob's decision. He is corporate.
He is, but in this case, no.
No, it wasn't Joe, or it wasn't Bob, I mean.
No.
All right, following the timeout, back underway. Beautiful job by Janae Harrison. Put it right in between the front row and the back row.
No, though, Rob, I could blame him for it, though.
I just tried to.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe, yeah.
Emily Van Horn and the Titans trail 14-9. Van Horn sends it over to Ava Miller. Usil back to Bailey Kerstetter. She cranks up, and that one is ruled just out. And that point will go to Lorain. It's 14-10. Boy, that was very, very close.
It sure was. I thought it was in.
I did too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Emily Van Horn, but that linesman is standing right there, Joe. And his eyes are better than you. There's 3 people here. 2 of them have glasses. One of those 3 that doesn't have glasses would be the linesman. 2 of us here flapping our gums are the ones wearing glasses.
But I've got a Fuji non-17X lens.
14-11. Titans within 3. Van Horn with a serve. Miller to Musil. Sheehan sends it over to the Titan side. From the back row, Emily Van Horn hits it wide, out of bounds, point Brookside. And the Cardinals lead 15-11 in Game 3. They have a 2-0 lead. As Lorain trying to get back into this game and the match, Tori Aliff, the senior, will serve for Brookside. Aliff sends it over. Van Horn gets it ahead. Left side of the front row. Kerstetter digs it out. Sent back over to the Titans, and Janae Harrison with a beautiful job hitting that to the back row in front of a diving Ava Miller. Point for the Titans. They trail 15-12. And we'll see Amaya Robinson coming back into the match for Lorain. She's going to come in to serve. Amaya Robinson, a senior. Robinson, nice line drive serve. Miller goes down to get it. Played ahead to Kerstetter. She'll send it back to Williams. Set for Washington. Middle of the front row. Cross court kill is good from Sydney Patterson. And the Titans are within 2 at 15-13.
Yeah, no quitting the Lady Titans tonight.
Nope, they were down 12-6. And you started to wonder, 14-8. They took that timeout at 14-8, Joe. And since then, they've outscored them 5-1. And here the Cardinals are going to get a point. It makes it 16-13. And going back to serve is Bailey Kerstetter. Kerstetter line drive serve. Middle of the front row, Sydney Patterson. Sends it over to the Cardinals. There's the spike attempt, but hitting it into that net is Jenna Rothman. Point for the Titans. They trail 16-14.
Within 2.
Yes, they are. They've done that a couple of times. at 15-13, 16-14, but they haven't gotten any closer. Our last tie was at 6. Rothman to Musil, over to Sheehan. Sheehan hits it to the Titan side, dug out nicely. They get it to Sydney Patterson. She'll put it back to the Cardinals. Left side of the front row, Sheehan gets the kill in front of a diving Talia Harris. 17-14 Cardinals. And serving will be Ava Miller. Ava, line drive serve. And it's going to be misplayed by the Titans defensively. 18-14. Brookside leads by 4. Just one timeout remaining for Coach Chantel Jackson. As Ava Miller, a sophomore, serving. Played by Talia Harris. Over to Washington. From the back row, Amaya Robinson into the net. 19-14 Brookside. Brookside up 2-0, looking for a 3-game sweep. Lorain trying to come back and send this to a 4th game. Robinson puts that a little too far. It's blocked right back by the tag team of Rothman and Sheehan. And now Lorain takes another timeout as they trail 20-14.
And Rob, we'll take one as well.
Joe just told you we're taking a timeout. Game 3, Cardinals lead 20-14. We'll be back right after this timeout.
Hey, Luda, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
I'm really worried. One of my friends is living on the street.
I know someone who can help.
Who?
1-800-RUNAWAY.org. They help kids having a rough time at home, in school, or on the street. You can do a live chat on their site. They will help get her to safety.
Thanks, Ludacris.
Trust the National Runaway Switchboard. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
Ava Miller serves following the Lorain timeout. Right side of the front row, it's blocked right back by the Cardinals, and they're going to take a 21-14 lead. Brookside 21, Lorain 14, game 3. No, this isn't football. 21-14, you might think of it. Miller serves. Washington with the set. Cardinals wind up. That one's blocked at the net by Sydney Patterson. Patterson now sends it back to the Cardinal side. Sheehan put the kill is good, and Brookside all of a sudden, just like that, they're 3 points away from the match.
Yeah, that was a wicked spike there.
Yeah, they cranked up Sheehan right there, and that was a perfectly set ball for her. She put it straight down, and Ava Miller continues to serve. Ava line drive serve off Williams, off Van Horn, and unable to get it over on the third hit is Robinson. And the Cardinals are 2 points away, and Lorain is out of timeouts. The Titans took a timeout, down 14-8 and down 20-14. 23-14, it's a 7-0 run for the Cardinals. Robinson to Washington with the set. Sydney Patterson sends it over. Point for the Titans. They end the run, and the Titans now trail 23-15. And going back to serve is Sydney Patterson. It would be very helpful if she was able to serve maybe 6, 7, 8 straight points to get them back into it, but unfortunately she puts it into the net, and we're at match point at 24-15. So the Cardinals will serve for the match. Washington saves it for now to Julissa Williams, sends it back to the Cardinals side. And Sheehan for the match. She gets it. The kill is good. And the Brookside Cardinals tonight sweep the Lorain Titans in 3 games. They win 25-17, 25-13, 25-15. Jen Larrick's team with a win goes to 7-8. With the loss, Chantil Jackson's Lorain Titans dropped to 8-9. So,
yeah, Lorain might have lost, but there were some very nice rallies, and there was some good volleyball tonight.
They played well at times, but you know what, Joe? I just don't think they did anything consistent tonight.
You're right.
There were times that they looked okay, but they just didn't seem like they could ever put it together consistently.
Yep.
So that's going to just about wrap it up for us, Joe. Appreciate it again. Great to be here with you. We'll look forward to the next time. And again, Brookside wins in 3 games, 25-17, 25-13, and 25-15. For Joe Bach, this is Rob Polinsky reminding you that you've been watching Girls Varsity Volleyball on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.